Hey there, I'm Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers. Let's talk a little bit today about when to stop a product or service, or hey, maybe even a business or a side hustle. I'm going to make this pretty brief. If you want to hear more, check out this week's podcast episode on the Doers, Shakers, Makers podcast about the same subject. Let's run through a series of questions. I actually, in putting this together, thought this would make a great flowchart. So look for that later because I may be putting that up. The first thing that you want to look at, is it selling? So what is making you not want to sell the product and service anymore? Most likely it's that something is not selling. So you maybe created something that never sold, or you maybe created something that used to sell and no longer is. So that is the first step in our evaluation, because if it's not selling, you may want to first, if it is something that's never sold, you may want to tweak it. That's the whole beauty of entrepreneurship, especially tiny businesses. We can pivot fast. We can change things really quickly. And a lot of times that first way that we do the idea is not the way that it works. So the first thing that you should look at is it selling? If it's not selling, start to look at why, reassess it. But the next step, even before you decide what to do, is do you enjoy either creating it, selling it, doing the service, whatever? Do you enjoy it? Because maybe the reason why you're thinking of not doing it anymore is because you don't want to. That's fine. Also, the beauty of being a talented tiny business owner. There was a service that I was trying to launch for a while and I was dragging my feet on it. I launched like 3 other things while I was still dragging my feet on that. And finally, I just realized I don't enjoy doing it. Yes, it was a great idea. Fine, somebody else can do it. It wasn't something that I actually enjoyed doing and that I wanted to do a lot. I didn't even want to do the beta test of it. So if you are not wanting to have a product or a service anymore, think about, do you enjoy having it? Do you even want to have it? If you don't, that is the beauty of your business. Unless it's your keystone, like main one product that you're offering, move on if you'd like. The next is, does it represent your brand well? Maybe you have shifted your branding. Maybe you have gone in a new direction and this is a holdover from where you used to be. Or maybe you thought that this was something that would represent well and it just doesn't. Maybe the quality is not very good if you're having it manufactured. Maybe it just ended up not quite aligning with the rest of your branding and the rest of what you want your brand to be about. Maybe it just no longer fits in. Assess at this level as well. Is it something that even aligns? Because if not, you can let it go. The next is it priced fairly on the market? So if you are wanting to stop this product or service because it is really under purchased, maybe people are buying it, but you're not pricing it correctly. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe it's not expensive enough. That's actually a big problem that talented tiny business owners run into. We do not sell often our services and products for enough. So we end up really frustrated and exhausted because we're not making enough money on whatever we're doing and we start to burn out because of that. So is it priced fairly for the market? Again, if you're trying to assess on if it's selling well or not, this is a good place to visit and check around and see what the competition is. And that brings me to the last question that I want you to think about. Has everyone else that's attempted this stopped selling it? Meaning, is this just something that there is not a high enough demand for, or that it's too much of a pain that people don't want to do it? If you are facing having a product or service that is in this category that's failing this question, that you were saying, yeah, why does everybody stop doing this service? Well, there's probably a really good reason for it. If there are people who have stopped doing it because they just don't want to, then that is different. But if you find that lots of people, again, you should be researching a little bit, looking around what your competition is doing. If you find that people have started this and stopped it, and it just seems to be that there are not people wanting it, again, we're going back to, is it selling? Or it's just too either time extensive or exhausting or too many factors of why nobody else wants to do it, then that is sometimes a great way to say, yeah, I don't want to do it either. Although on the flip side, there are some things where that could open up an area where, like the Mike Rowe show, America's Dirtiest Jobs, maybe it's something that some people just don't like to do and you don't mind. So maybe you'd be able to walk right into that little niche and clean up in there. So it depends on what it is. But when you are thinking about if you should stop selling a product or service or even having your business, your your side hustle, run through a few factors before you just make the emotional decision and say, what is driving me to not want to do this? Some things are worth tweaking and some things are not. So the decision may be made for you. Again, I talk about this more in depth this week on the podcast, Doers, Shakers, Makers. And next week, I will be back right here with another Tuesday tip video. I'm Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers. Thank you for watching.